Join us on the program right now, Tom Urbanski from Skis Firearms Training and Consulting in Oregon, Ohio. Tom, good evening, sir.
How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming on the program.
No problem. Hey, before we start, let me invite you and your listeners up to the 102nd National Matches up here at Camp Perry. If you want to see the NRA at its best, this is where you do it.
Absolutely. You know, we've been really lucky that NRA News has been able to go out and cover the national matches the past 2 years, and hoping that we can get back out there, one of our favorite summer destinations. So I appreciate that, Tom. Now, when are you going to be up there?
I'll be up there for Small Arms Firing School Pistol and Rifle. It starts on the 14th, and really most of the month of July and August are devoted to the Small Arms Firing Schools and the national matches.
Fantastic. All right, well, I hope that we get to meet you in person here in just a few weeks.
Sounds good.
Now, in the meantime, we've been following what's going on in Toledo, Ohio. First round of layoffs have taken place. 75 officers let go. Before that, I understand that there was a series of early retirements and officers going to other jurisdictions. There's talk of more cuts to the Toledo Police Department in the weeks ahead. How is this affecting your business, and are people turning to you and saying we need to be able to protect ourselves?
Yeah, the local CBS affiliate, Channel 11, Colleen Wells, talked to me a couple of days ago on this. I'm getting calls from tons of elderly. As a matter of fact, just about 20 minutes ago, a 75-year-old guy called me and he said, you know, I haven't touched a gun since World War II. I'm scared. I'm alone. Yeah, but I need to get some practice. I need to do something. I need to be able to protect myself. And what's happening is essentially their support structure for elderly is dropping off. They lived in an old neighborhood. The next-door neighbor is different. It is a race thing or a nationality thing. It's often just age. I've got a neighbor that moved into me, next to me that's 30 years old. I'm 62. We don't have anything in common. You feel alone, and that's what we're getting here. Just about the time that the layoffs occurred, we had a couple of home invasions, both of which resulted in either attacks or deaths on elderly. So we've got people that are very afraid up in this area.
And what do you tell them, Tom, when they call that 75-year-old man who you spoke to just a little while ago? I mean, what is your advice when you get those phone calls?
Well, essentially, I try to let them know that really it was their job to protect themselves from the start. The layoffs don't really affect them all that much unless they have a cop that sits on their front porch every day. They've got the responsibility to defend themselves, and the only way to do that is to, again, take personal responsibility, get some training, get a firearm, and be able to defend yourself when you need to.
Yeah. And so I know that you are an NRA certified firearms instructor. Are your classes full up?
I went, well, let me give you a comparison. I started in 2004.
Okay.
I was laid off at 57, found nobody would hire me, so I took my hobby and my profession. My profession used to be computer training, combined them. It took me 3 years, so November 2007, I had my 100th class, my 258th student. Here we are a year and a half later, and this weekend, tomorrow's class will be my 226th and my 789th student.
Wow.
So I've tripled the amount of business I did in the previous 3 years in 1 year.
That is incredible.
Yeah, and that's what, you know, you're seeing all this. Everybody's talking about you can't buy ammo, you can't buy assault weapons. But in terms of training, that's what's happening also.
You can't get into the classes?
Oh, yeah. My next class that's available, and I only do these on weekends since that's what normal people can do.
Right.
My next class is like June 27th that I've got seats open, and I haven't seen any drop in that number. I got 6 bookings today.
Wow. All right, now you said a lot of the phone calls you're getting are from elderly folks or older folks. What about the classes? Are you getting a mix of people showing up for your classes?
Well, it sort of takes almost a month for me to finally see who's calling today.
Yeah.
So when the people got assaulted, the home invasions happened a couple of weeks ago, those people won't start showing up in my classes until next week sometime. When the WTOL and, like I say, Colleen Wells came over here to actually film my class this past Saturday, which apparently got national notice for some reason. I had no idea it had legs. But anyway, there was only one guy that was older in class, and he happens to be from almost 200 miles away from here in Ohio.
Wow.
So, yeah, he didn't really relate to this whole situation, but they eventually ended up interviewing a young lady who was from the local area, and she's as afraid as the older people are. They're just worried that they've got nobody to protect them anymore.
Well, listen, Tom, I can't thank you enough for doing what you're doing to try to educate folks in the Toledo area and make sure that they can protect themselves. It sounds like could you use a couple of other instructors in the area, or you think you got it covered right now?
Well, no, if they came about in the area, I'd lose money. This is all I do for a living, so it's pretty nice. I've got a 2-day work week and a 5-day weekend. So I can't complain, kid.
Not bad at all. Well, Tom, thank you so much for coming on the program, and I do hope that we get to see you at Camp Perry in a few weeks.
Yeah, zip me an email. We'll arrange to meet.
All right. Tom, thanks again for coming on the program tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Tom Urbanski from Skis Firearms and Training and Consulting in Oregon, Ohio.